Have you ever had a coincidence so specific it made the hairs on the back of your neck stand up? What if I told you that what we dismiss as mere happenstance might actually be rooted in patterns so dark and inexplicable that they challenge our understanding of the human mind and the universe itself? This is the dark science of chilling coincidences, and let me assure you, you're about to question everything you think you know. Coincidences are defined as remarkable occurrences of events without any apparent causal connection. But are they truly random? Scientists, psychologists, and mathematicians have long been fascinated by the phenomenon. But what they've found will leave even the skeptics questioning their disbelief. Let's begin. First, consider what's known as the law of large numbers. Essentially, given enough opportunities, anything, no matter how improbable, can occur. But some coincidences defy even mathematical explanation. One of the most chilling examples of this is the case of Wilmer McLean, a man whose life was bookended by the American Civil War. McLean's house was the site of the first major battle in 1861, and 4 years later, the surrender of the Confederacy occurred in another home owned by McLean, located miles away. Coincidence? Or something that hints at an invisible web weaving our lives together? Then there's what scientists call apophenia, the human tendency to perceive connections or patterns in random information. While this cognitive bias explains simple things like finding faces in the clouds, in extreme cases, apophenia has pushed individuals to dangerous mental states. One horrifying example is the case of mathematician John Nash, whose struggle with schizophrenia led him to believe he was uncovering secret patterns that could unravel global conspiracies. What's remarkable and disturbing is that these false patterns seem so convincing to his genius-level mind. But coincidences aren't limited to individual experience. There are spine-chilling historical occurrences where eerie parallels seemingly defy randomness. Consider the gut-wrenching story of the SS Titan, a fictional ship from Morgan Robertson's 1898 novella, Futility. In the book, the ship is described as an unsinkable luxury liner that hits an iceberg, resulting in catastrophic loss of life. 14 years later, in 1912, the real-life Titanic faced an almost identical fate. Same lavish details, same tragic ending. The book wasn't just prophetic. For some, it feels as though the tragedy mirrored fiction in a way the universe itself orchestrated. Moving deeper into science, let's talk about quantum entanglement. Einstein referred to it as spooky action at a distance, and the name is fitting. Two particles, entangled at a quantum level, seem to influence each other instantaneously, even when separated by light years. This isn't just theoretical. It's a documented scientific phenomenon that's been experimentally proven. But could the principles behind entanglement have ramifications for relationships, events, or even human decisions? Some believe so, though mainstream science insists there is zero evidence to support such a mystical leap. One of the darkest coincidences, however, isn't scientific, but chillingly personal. Consider the 1980 disappearance of twin boys, Jim Lewis and Jim Springer, who were separated at birth and reunited 39 years later. Shockingly, both had been adopted by different families who named them Jim. Both had dogs named Toy. Both married women named Linda, divorced, and then married women named Betty. Both worked as sheriff's deputies and enjoyed woodworking. Genetics helps explain some shared traits, but the level of specificity here, mind-bending. Was it mere coincidence or something we can't yet comprehend? The scientific study of coincidence has even extended to health. Did you know that multiple studies suggest a statistical spike in heart attacks among people who lose their romantic partners? Though the reasons may involve stress and grief, skeptical researchers say the degree of the spike remains inexplicable. Is the phenomenon driven by emotional bonds so strong they create physiological reactions? Imagine your heartbeat synced with someone else's, so much so that it breaks without them. The most unsettling coincidences arise when we interact with technology. Algorithms calculate probabilities seamlessly, but sometimes too seamlessly. Have you ever had your smartphone suggest something you swear you never searched for, or show you an ad after you simply spoke about the subject? It feels like an eerie breach, but is it all just sophisticated coding? Or is there a darker implication about our lack of control over information and technology? But let's bring the concept of dark coincidences back to where it hits hardest: choices. In what's known as the chaos theory butterfly effect, seemingly small actions can lead to massive and often devastating consequences. For example, industrial innovation seems like a great thing, until you learn about the small mishap that led to the Bhopal gas tragedy in 1984. One valve failure caused over 15,000 deaths by cyanide gas. What's unsettling is how microscopic actions or decisions can ripple into such colossal horror. Now let's pause here. Why does this idea terrify us so deeply? It's because, at its heart, the idea that unseen forces or invisible threads determine the trajectory of our lives strips away our sense of control. It isn't comforting to think that the next big event in your life may be dictated by some random cosmic or tangible connection you don't yet know. Before we close, let me leave you with this question. If coincidences are as dark as they appear, if the boundaries of causality and randomness blur in ways we're not designed to comprehend, what does that say about our role in the universe? Are we truly as autonomous as we think, or are we pawns in a game too vast and intricate to grasp? Drop your thoughts below, because this discussion is far from over. So the next time something improbable happens, think twice before shrugging it off as random, because what you dismiss might be more deliberate than you could ever imagine. The dark science of chilling coincidences is unsettling because it hits where we are most vulnerable, our belief in control. And perhaps that's the darkest twist of all.